Better late than never. And I'm not talking about the Seattle Mariners today. I'm talking about getting this video up. What is up? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back and welcome into the Seattle Mariners post-game recap. We've got a late one today, or an early one, maybe, if you want to look at it that way, since it's up very early Saturday morning. But the Mariners defeat the Astros in game one of this crucial three-game set. They win at 4-0 to improve to 85 and 69 on the year. As always, before I go any further, if you can do the big three, like the video, it gets it out to more people. So thank you. Keep hitting that like button, the thumbs up button. I appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new or lurking to the channel on the road to 5,100 subs. And don't forget to comment your thoughts on the team and the game down below. Huge victory. I mean, that's an understatement, right? We know how crucial this series is for the Seattle Mariners. We're going to break it all down. Mariners do go one game up in the American League West on Houston, obviously, for the moment. Their playoff magic number goes down to 6. So that is their magic number to clinch a playoff berth, not the division, but to get into the dance. And that is important because first and foremost, you got to get in to have a shot. So hopefully they can get that taken care of and end up as American League West champions. Huge to get this first game of the series because now you put yourself, one, you've avoided what did I say yesterday, right? If one of these teams sweep the series, it's over. It essentially is. It puts the other team's magic number at 3 with the tiebreaker. There would be almost no chance if one of these teams sweep that they could come back and win the division. That's at least off the table. You can check that off for the Seattle Mariners. They cannot be swept in this series. So even if they did lose it, I'm not trying to start out on the worst case scenario, but we're just going through it all. While it wouldn't be great, especially after winning tonight, there would still be some hope. You would still not be completely eliminated from it. If you can win the series, you're set up very well, right? You've got the lead. You've got the tiebreaker. From the Mariners standpoint, you're coming home for 3 against Colorado. You're set up very well. The Mariners also still have the opportunity that Houston does not to sweep this series. If you sweep the series, it's over. I mean, for all intents and purposes. Your magic number would be 3. You have 3 with Colorado. You're going to have 3 with a Dodgers team that's likely going to have their seeding wrapped up. If the Mariners win the next 2 games, which is not going to be easy, the American League West is, I will declare it over. I think Astros fans would say the same thing. This is a great first step. They needed it. There is still work to be done. This is when you keep going. This is when this is great, right? It's sort of it's just like getting into the playoffs, right? You celebrate it, you're happy, but there's still work to be done. There is still a mission at hand for this team. This is great. This is a huge step, but this is not everything. This is just part of it. Next goal, win tomorrow, right? Have George Kirby pitch a big game, get to Framber Valdez, win game 2 of this series. Then we'll talk about what you can do in game 3. This is just step number 1, and step number 1 has been completed. The Mariners deserve to be celebrated for that, but there is still work to be done. I don't want it to become something where we go so over the top here that we kind of lose sight that there is still, work to do. But celebrate, enjoy. It was a great victory. Absolutely a fantastic win for this team. And they've put themselves in a great position here now where you just find a way to win one of the next 2. You are sitting very pretty. If you can somehow win both, you are sitting beyond pretty. Obviously, some tough news. Bryan Woo does leave this game. Soreness with his pec. MRI will come tomorrow. Obviously hoping for the best there. If it's something mild, then, we're probably okay. If it's something torn, then that's going to be a problem. I'm venturing on the side of optimism. Dan didn't seem too concerned when you listen to him talk about it. Bryan Woo was talking post-game as well, giving quotes and stuff like that. I mean, if they really thought it was torn, I don't think he'd be talking to the media after the game. I think they'd have some idea. Again, MRIs reveal more, but usually, with your team physicians and everything, you do have some clue even before going into the MRI that it may not be something too serious. If Bryan Woo does have to miss the rest of the regular season, that's fine, right? I think he was scheduled to make one more start. I think he was scheduled to start game 3 in Colorado. If you need him to miss the rest of the regular season, absolutely fine. Another thing that becomes crucial here, and again, the MRI will tell us more with Woo, but the bye becomes a bigger thing now too, right? And the Mariners currently right now, I didn't even mention that, they have the 2nd seed. If the playoffs started tomorrow, they have the tiebreaker on Detroit. the Seattle Mariners would not play in the wild card series. Again, work to be done, right? That could change tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. But as of right now, they do. That might become crucial as well because it's something where Woo's maybe down 2 weeks. You could maybe navigate through those 14 days with that wild card series off. So we'll find out more tomorrow. And I don't want to speculate because I'm not a doctor. I'm a lot of things, but I'm certainly not a medical professional. So I'm not going to go too much into that. But let's hope for the best. And until we know more, I'm going to assume that it's something that the Mariners can play through because, my gosh, do they need Brian Wu. Doesn't mean I think it would be impossible. I will not give up on this team. And you ain't going to get any sympathy from other fan bases either. But Brian Wu has been the best pitcher all season and absolutely want him a part of this rotation going into the postseason. Again, doesn't mean there aren't some other things that could happen. Kirby, if he pitches more like he did last Sunday, Bryce Miller's been better in September. So it's certainly not impossible. But you want Brian Wu in there for sure. Love seeing this team come out and just get this game, right? Like seeing the hunger. This is, you face the Astros' best pitcher today in Hunter Brown, and he threw the ball well, right? I'm not surprised. I didn't expect the Mariners to come in and win this game 12-0. Hunter Brown threw the ball well, but the Mariners found a way to get a couple off of him, right? Julio hits the home run in the first, Gino in the fourth. You do just enough, and you tack on against the bullpen. Actually, 4 solo home runs today. The one by Gino was crushed. It says 425 feet. That thing looked closer to 475 than 425. Victor Robles gets on the board with one, and so does Josh Naylor. Perfect, right? You got a little bit on Hunter Brown, and on the other side, your ace and Brian Wu was putting up zeros. Then you got into the bullpen. You added a couple runs there, and your top line bullpen arms were able to shut it down and complete a victory. Back-to-back shutouts here for the Mariners pitching staff. And we've called out the pitching staff a little bit. It has not been, outside of maybe Brian Wu and some others at times and some guys in the pen, has not been the, horse it was in 23 and 24 for this team. But they've pitched, I think, much better in the second half of the season. There's been some lulls, but for the most part, this pitching staff has really, really dialed it in. And it's going to be the key, right? Because Hunter Brown is the type of pitcher you're going to face in the postseason. Not guys that, who was the guy in the White Sox, like Jonathan Cannon. Those aren't the guys you're facing. You're going to be facing Hunter Browns, Framber Valdez's. And it's not always going to be about putting up 7 runs off them in 4 innings. But can you do just enough? Can you get some base runners to get their pitch count up a little bit? So maybe they're out after 5 innings. They did that a little bit, right? It would have been nice to capitalize. And I think it was the 3rd inning there. But they got some base runners on, worked the pitch count up a little bit, and a couple solo home runs. You get Brown out of there and he takes the loss. He was good. He was really good today, but he wasn't good enough because your ace was better and your offense did enough. And that's how you win in the postseason, right? That's not only does this have a postseason feel to it with this series, because essentially is, that's also how this team is going to win games in the postseason if they are fortunate enough to be a part of the postseason dance, which I think they will be. I think they will. I said coming in, I thought they'd win this series. Haven't done it yet, right? They have not. They haven't done anything. All they've done so far is they've avoided the worst case scenario. And I want to be clear on this. Not saying that's not to be negative about it. What I'm talking about is being hungry for more. This team can get more, right? This is great. This is a great win. I've already watched this game on the way home in the car. My wife drove, twice essentially. Loved it. Loved every second of this. This was amazing. But we want more, right? There's more out there to be had. And that's what I'm saying by that, this doesn't do anything if all you've accomplished is avoiding worst case scenario in this series. The good news is, though, it's in your hands. Now you hope the pressure's on Houston. Now they've got to step up and they have to play to win tomorrow. They've got to feel like tomorrow their season's on the line. You want to play with that intensity too, right? You want to have that same mentality, but hopefully the Mariners play a little bit looser, and a little bit more with ease, and it helps get them that victory tomorrow. So let's go ahead and dive into the box score here for the game. Hopefully that all made sense. It's 1 a.m, so I could be delirious and talking utter nonsense. Brian Wu, just amazing. Gets his 15th win of the year, 5 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. He throws 67 pitches, 45 for strikes. I mean, he had perfect game stuff. Talk about how good Brian Wu has been all season, and this might have been his best start. And obviously the injury is unfortunate just for the Mariners' sake, but even in this game, Wu might have gone 7 or 8. And the one downside you may get from that outside of Brian Wu being hurt, you did have to go to Bizzardo, Brash, and Munoz here. Had Wu not gotten hurt, you might have been able to avoid one of Brash or Bizzardo and had them more ready for tomorrow. But Dan did everything right here. Dan did it fine. Going to Bizzardo there. Bizzardo continues to be, I don't even think he's an unsung hero anymore. I think everybody knows that this guy is a dog. He's got the dog in him, right? 2 shutout innings from Bizzardo, having to come in kind of on the fly a little bit. No hits, no walks, no runs, 2 Ks. Bizzardo only throws, how many pitches did he throw? He did throw 25. Honestly, I'd still say everybody's good to go tomorrow. You can't play for Sunday. If you can get tomorrow and nail tomorrow's win, then Sunday you can kind of look at as gravy. It's not, right? You still want to get it. But I still think it's all hands on deck. And if Bizzardo's got something in him for tomorrow, I think if you need him, you use him. But what a performance from Bizzardo, backing up Brian Wu. Like I said, just a shame he had to be taken out, not only from the injury standpoint, but he looked poised to go maybe 7 or 8 the way he was pitching tonight. And just prayers up for Wu that it's the MRI comes back clean. I never root for injuries, even when opponents go through it. That's not what the game's about. They do happen, right? It's certainly not something that the Mariners should apologize that, Jordan Alvarez is missing the series, and Houston shouldn't apologize if they win the division and Brian Wu misses time. That is baseball. But as fans of the game, that would be absolutely brutal. So I'm hoping for the best from that MRI. Talk about Bizzardo. Brash with a nice bounce back outing. The error to lead off the 8th. Then he gets the double play and gets out of it, throws 18 pitches. I know Brash doesn't pitch a ton of back-to-backs, but he's going to be good to go tomorrow. Didn't pitch yesterday. He can go 2 days in a row. And Munoz finishes it off in the 9th. 1 inning, 1 hit, no walks, no runs, and 2 strikeouts. Not a save situation. Again, Dan did the right thing here. Would have been great if the Mariners could have gotten like 2 or 3 more runs in the 9th and gone to Legumina or Hancock, but too big of a series here. You're off Monday, which is nice. Munoz is good to go in my book tomorrow. Now, my book means nothing, right? The Mariners do not use my book for anything, but I think everybody's good to go. You should have Spire good to go tomorrow as well. It's all hands on deck this series. This is the series. If you are going to use Munoz 4 days in a row, this is the series you do it. Same with Bizzardo. Brash, you probably still have to be a little bit careful coming off the TJ, but I'd certainly say back-to-back, no problem. And then Spire's good to go for the next 2 as well. It is all hands on deck. And again, I know maybe some people, 4-0, you don't mess around. Listen, maybe back in the day when that wasn't that long ago, but when you didn't have to face 3 batters, maybe in those scenarios, I would have started with Legumina. And if he let a guy get on, I immediately go to Munoz. You try to get through it with Legumina. I could have understood it. But with a 3-batter minimum, it's too risky. If you throw Legumina or Hancock out there and a couple guys reach, they've got to face one more. There's nobody out. Now you're in danger. Now Munoz has got to come into an extremely stressful situation. He's going to throw the same amount of pitches, if not more now, because he's got to be a little more careful. By the way, Munoz, 16 pitches, 13 for strikes. Really impressive there against the heart of that Astros order. Dan did the right thing. He went to his leverage arms. And if it's 4-0 tomorrow, he should do the same thing. These games are too important. This is when you push the guys, right? This is why, you don't go to them sometimes in June or May and you go, we want to give them that extra day. This series is why you do that and hope that they have the energy and everything to go 3-4 days in a row. So, we'll see how it plays out tomorrow for sure. Offensively, 9 hits, 2 walks for the Mariners. Good offensive day. Again, Hunter Brown was solid. He went 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned 2 walks, 9 Ks. He was really good. And I like that more. I like that Hunter Brown was good today in a kind of I don't know, you call it a sick, twisted way, because he got him at their best. He pitched his butt off today for Houston. If I was a Houston podcast, I'd be saying Hunter Brown did everything you need him to do, but it just wasn't quite good enough. And that's a testament to this Mariners team. It's a testament to the pitching staff. and to the offense finding a way. How many times have we talked about they don't have to score 17 runs every game, but just find those opportunities. Julio with the big home run in the first. Wu then coming on, not giving up that run or giving it right back. Then Gino adds another one and just keep playing a little add-on. You can do it with base hits, doubles, home runs. Mariners did it with home runs tonight. So let's look at it here in the box score. Randy 0 for 5. I think Randy's like 1 for his last 27. OPS down to 768. Would like to see Randy get going here. One more Randy hot streak would be really great to see. Again, everything's kind of clicking for the Mariners. They've won 12 out of 13. So these cold streaks don't get noticed as much because the winning's happening, and especially late in the year. Because, like, again, I say it all the time, this is in May, we might be a little more focused on Randy struggling. Did I say Gino? I meant to say Randy. I think I said, I don't know. Again, 1 a.m. But like right now, we're just, oh my gosh, wins. I don't care if everybody goes 0 for. If you win on 11 straight hit by pitches, then great, perfect. But need Randy to get kind of one more hot streak here. Cal 0 for 2, but had 2 walks. Julio 1 for 4 is a big one. The solo home run in the first inning. Nice to see the Mariners pepper those Crawford boxes a little bit. Josh Naylor was solid today, 2 for 4 with the home run, his 20th. He joins the 2020 club, 20 stolen bases, 20 home runs. I did have a little bit of a tough at-bat there when they had first and second, 2 outs. He kind of swung at a lot of pitches out of the zone, but ends up being a solid day for Naylor. Polo was 0 for 4. Gino 1 for 4 with the solo home run. Again, that thing was hit way further than 425. Dom was 1 for 4. Victor Robles goes 1 for 3 with the solo home run. This seems to be their lineup now with Robles and Wright, Dom at DH, and Polanco at second. I think that is the best lineup for this team. Probably not your best defensive lineup with Polo at second, but you get a little boost with Victor in right field and Dom DHing. I think this is what you're going to see more of down the stretch. Probably won't see it as much tomorrow. Tomorrow you probably see Garver at DH with Valdez on the mound. Then JP 3 for 4. JP has really been hot of late. And it's like I said, it's always so great to see JP coming in at the bottom of the order, turning it over to the top. But the problem is now the top struggle a little bit with Randy. So, but that stuff should hopefully, work itself out for the Seattle Mariners here. So not much to be upset about here. Great win. You go into Houston, you win game 1. You put the pressure on them, right? This series would not have been over. Had the Mariners lost today, I would have come on here and said it's not over. You win the next 2, you're in great shape. So nothing to hit a panic button about. And Houston should not be hitting a panic button. But you have put the pressure on them. And that's what I would say about the Mariners. The pressure's on now. There's no more little wiggle room. You've got to win the next 2. I certainly think that if you get out of the series winning 1, there's still a chance for either team. Like, if Houston wins tomorrow and the Mariners win Sunday, is Houston eliminated? No, maybe the Mariners stumble and Houston sweeps somebody. You're back in it. Same thing if the Mariners lose the next 2. Is the division over? No, but you are up against it, right? Because you're behind. You don't have the tiebreaker. You're going to have to play 2 games better than that team with just 6 games to go. It's going to be difficult. And again, I know I'm repeating myself, so if you guys can, sitting there going, Jay, shut up. You've said this 50 times. But, it is what it is. If you sweep, and Houston can't sweep anymore, you've taken that off the table. If the Mariners sweep, I mean, listen, it's not being arrogant. Guys, they would be 3 up with 6 to play in the tiebreaker, with 3 against the Rockies. Sweeping that series against the Rockies would clinch you the division, no matter what Houston does the rest of the way. And you're 2 wins away from doing that. That's not impossible. It's not. It's not being arrogant. It's not being cocky. You're not arrogant and cocky. You're not wrong for thinking it. This team can absolutely do it. They've come in here. They've won game 1. Now you go out tomorrow. You win game 2. You take it 1 at a time, and hopefully in the end you're sitting pretty. So enjoy it. Like I said, embrace the stress. We embraced it today, and look what happened. Got a W. So comment, subscribe. Let's keep it going tomorrow. Win this series, and as always, go first place Seattle Mariners. Peace.